it's Holly Henry with Speedway 360. I've got two of my favorite guys. They're actually good friends of mine. I've got Keith and his son Joe Altig here, and they've come out to Cocopah Speedway, and I'm so happy to interview them. I've been bugging them about it for a little while. So my first question to you guys is, Keith, oh, there's some good motors there. Keith, you've been racing for a really long time. So how long have you been racing? I know you were at Cajon Speedway with my buddy Mark Norris. So how long have you been doing this?
35, 36 years, something like that.
Heck yeah.
I must have been about 4, I think I started. I'm not that old now.
And how about you, Joe? I know you followed in your father's footsteps. How old were you when you started?
I was actually 13 going on 14 when I first got in a race car. Started pretty young. I was around it growing up, and I just always wanted to be in the race car, and finally, I think I was 13. I think I was 13, we finally bought the dwarf car, and I started racing. So.
That was my next question. So you started in the dwarf car, and how about you, Keith? What was your first class?
Bomber stock, Cajon Speedway.
Heck yeah, Cajon Speedway was a lot of fun. So you guys have 3 cars here tonight, and I know we've obviously raced with you guys a bunch, and that's how we became friends. Are you guys competitive out on the track at all, or is it like you help block the other guy if you see something's happening, like you work together, or how's that been?
You know, it's a total team effort. You know, we want everybody to do well. We want everybody to win, and as long as I'm in front of them at the end, it's all good.
Yeah, we, you know, in the shop all week long, we're always helping each other, and everybody, at some point of the day, somebody is touching somebody else's race car, and it's all a big team effort. But when we come out here on the track, of course, everybody wants to beat the other guy. You know, we're all a big family. At the end of the day, we're going to hug each other and have a good time, but it's still a big competition. You know, everybody wants to finish first.
Yeah, for sure. I know we do too. What about setup? Do you guys obviously you know what's under everybody's skirt because you're all in the same garage, but have you learned anything from your son in setup and vice versa? Has there ever been any, for us, shocks is obviously a big thing. That's all Royce will ever talk about, but has there ever been like a component thing where you learned from him and he learned from you?
You know, that's a funny question because for a long time, Joe was at my door asking me, hey, this is what the car does, what do I do to fix it? And then he decided he wanted to get serious about it, so we sent him back east to school for a week, and now it seems that I'm at his door asking him, what do I do to fix it? So it's kind of turned 180 degrees.
It's a proud moment, though, I bet.
It is. It's a great moment. You know, I'm real proud of everything that he does in work and in play. But we work real hard and we play real hard, and I would say that to answer your question, yeah, we all know what's going on everywhere, but we're all independent. We all drive differently.
Yeah.
It takes a little different for me to get where I'm at. It takes a little different for him to get where he wants to be. So we all know that, and we make those changes accordingly.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love, as you guys know, I'm always interviewing the families because it's so cool to watch everyone learn from each other and grow. And you guys are, like I said, some of my favorites. You're so funny. I love your personalities. You guys are right. If you guys don't know them at home, these are 2 of the funniest people I know, and we're always cracking up and having fun after the races. So it's always a blast. You guys also, you run a towing company and a trucking company, and you guys work really, really hard. So you guys are always together. You're at work together. You work on the cars together. What's that like to keep that balance between, because you guys work really hard. You kick a lot of butt back home in San Diego. I see what you guys are doing online all the time. What's that like, keeping that balance between the work and the racing?
Well, you know, there's a lot of times it gets pretty rough. You know, working for family, everybody knows working for family can get tiring, it can wear on you. You know, at the end of the day, everybody loves each other. You know, it's one big family, but it's really hard to balance out the entire thing. You know, we spend 24/7 we're together.
Yeah.
You know, through work, and then at the end of the day, we're always in the shop together working on the cars. And you know, if we didn't like each other, it'd probably be a lot harder. Yeah. But we get along good, and it has definitely worn on us before. You know, there's times during the summer that we just throw our hands up and, you know, go fishing or something.
Get on the boat.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, we love it. You know, we all both share the same compassion for it, for work and for racing, and it shows. You know, we just keep kicking, keep going. You know.
That's one of my favorite things too. Is I love when the families. It's a group effort, and you guys you run your business together, you run your race team together. And I know there's a lot of families like that across the country. And I love to share, our side of the country with the rest of the world. And we're all out there doing what we can to afford the race cars and to keep going and to buy the parts and to do what you got to do to keep it on the rails. And yeah, sometimes it's challenging. Who, as far as, help and sponsors, who's really been there for you guys? Is there anyone that sticks out for you in particular?
I got to thank John Ball and everybody at the Ball Auto Group. If I had to pick just a couple of them, it would have to be John Ball and it'd have to be Dave Beck. Dave Beck built our engines for a long time until we came modified crate racing. And John Ball, it seems like just about every time I'm ready to throw my hands up and pack it in, he's standing there to get me through it and to help me.
Race car angel.
Yeah. So, it's all a love of sport and a love of speed and competition, and you got to have people that are like that around you to push you forward.
Exactly.
And if I had to pick just two people, I would say those are probably the two people I got to pick out. There's been 35 years of racing, man. That's a long time, and things have changed a lot. You go back to the old Cajon days, and you looked up to all of those guys, the Larry Cornings, the Mark Norris, all those kind of guys that were the big dogs. They were the guys that you looked up to. Well, now Larry comes down, hangs out at my shop, and
Larry's right over there, actually.
yeah, Larry's actually sitting behind us laughing at us.
Yeah.
But Larry's always around, and I talk to Mark all the time, and it's like those guys are all still around, but in a different capacity.
Yeah.
Before it was me trying to figure out how I could ever do this someday, and now it's me doing it and them helping me do it. So it's great. It's a wonderful thing.
I think it's cool too. I always say Mark Norris is Doc Hudson and Royce is Lightning McQueen, and I see that dynamic with you two a lot too, which I love. You've got your little spark fire over here, just like, let's keep going, Dad. And I see you guys work together a lot. What has been the highlight? Because you're out there racing a lot. What's been the highlight as far as you guys out on the track together?
It's racing with family. When we started, we didn't race in the same class. I was always the division below him, and when we finally started racing in the same class, it was always, there's Dad. We're racing, and all of a sudden, it's like I'm trying to chase down Dad. I have to beat Dad.
Yeah.
We're out here and we're racing together, and I have to beat him. But getting on the track and getting door to door, we have a lot of pictures of us just door to door, wheels locked to the right, and it. I probably wouldn't want to say that I'd enjoy doing it with anybody else. It's so awesome to get out here and just, this whole organization we got going, between work and family, and to get out here and race door to door is just a true blessing. It is a true blessing to get to race with family.
And it's an honor to be out on the track with you guys, and we're all doing the same thing. And I appreciate you so much sharing your story and coming out here to Cocopah. I'm Holly Henry with Speedway 360. You can catch us on Cocopah TV, and you can also catch us on the Cocopah Speedway page on Facebook. Thanks for watching.